everybody. Thanks for coming. My name is Jeff Gibby. Thanks for joining us for the webinar today. Hope you're doing well. Hoping that you're having a great end of summer. Wanted to ask you a favor. If you're watching us on YouTube and you like the video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, do all those good things. It helps a great deal. We appreciate it. And, if you have any questions, ask. We're here to help. So my job, I'm just going to kick us off. That means I read a legal disclaimer and say some complimentary things about our guest, who's awesome. So let's go ahead and get started there. Today's demonstration is designed to instruct you on using Metastock and the accompanying software plugins. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Metastock and its employees shall have no liability for investment decisions based on the use of the software, trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. Metastock and its employees do not endorse the purchase of a security, nor are they paid for the promotion of a security. No information provided in the presentation should be construed as an investment advice or solicitation to buy a security. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're doing well. Our guest today is Dan Passarelli. Dan's a good friend of ours for a number of years. I remember I met him, I want to say it was like the late 90s. We were in Vegas at the Traders Expo. And I remember just kind of being really impressed with like how smart he is and kind of like the methodologies he had around the markets at the time. Fast forward, he's done dozens of events with us. Today, he's going to talk about an indicator that he's developed, or I guess it's more of a pattern that he's developed that is really good to find stocks that have moved up, had a little bit of a pause in their momentum, and then resume. It's a really, really cool setup. So let's go ahead and get you started, Dan. Dan, how are you doing?
Hey, I am doing great, Jeff. Great to be here as usual. Let me share my screen.
You do not have... I just noticed in your background, you do not have a green background. You're in a different place. Is everything okay?
Yes, I am. I am in, we have a little place in Michigan, and we're out there for the weekend.
Oh, for fun. Okay, cool. Well, I can see you, obviously. I can hear you. I'm going to get out of the way. It's your turn. Go.
All right. Well, hi, folks. Welcome. Glad to be here. How you doing today? Feeling good? I'm Dan Passarelli, and I'm really glad to be with you here right now in this presentation at this very moment. And I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak with you about this key way that I've simplified my trading. It's the easiest, most straightforward system that I've ever created, and I'm really excited to share it. Jeff mentioned this, but options are not for everyone. You should read characteristics and risks of standardized options before trading. All right, let's jump into it. So momentum trades are this totally classic trade, and thousands of traders have collectively made billions of dollars over the years trading momentum trades. And the beauty of it is, like, the concept behind it's super easy. All you have to do is identify the setup, see when the trade triggers, get a confirmation, and set a target. At the end of this presentation, you'll be able to easily identify this specific momentum system. And I was listening to a podcast not long ago. I do that a lot. And they were talking about the difference between mindset and skill set. And both are important. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And there's something to that, isn't there? So I thought, how can I make one of those things, mindset or skill set, really simple? How can I do a lot of the work for you, our traders, so that you don't have to focus on both of these things at the same time? So I put my time in the only one of those that I can pretty much do entirely for you, and that's the skill set. I put this into a system where if you, follow along, you don't really need much skill at all. The skill part is built in. So now all you have to do to move forward in reaching your trading goals is, well, basically just think you can. This is my promise to you. I'm going to share with you how to easily spot high profit momentum trade opportunities using stocks, ETFs, Forex futures, options, and it's completely simplified. using this tested evolved trading system that we've created for our traders that hundreds of our students have used to go from that demoralized feeling we've all felt at some time to that feeling of satisfaction and self-assurance that we've all felt at some time, that we all know is possible. And at the end of this presentation, I'll share how you can take the next step so that you can start getting immediate results. Is that a fair deal? Yes. In fact, let me know. Hit that questions box for me, and don't be afraid to participate here. Let me know if everything I said is good with you, and if you think that that is a pretty darn good deal. And let's see, Jason says yes. Damon says yes. Laura says absolutely. Well, I like that. Okay, great. Excellent. Now, in order to get the most out of this, I ask that throughout this training and afterwards, make this about you. Consider turning off your cell phone, close Facebook and all that, shut the door of the room you're in, and let yourself get immersed in what I am about to share. Let it become part of you. Let it in. And stay till the end. The most important things I'll share come later. And I'm going to answer all the questions after we're done here. So if you have a question, write it down. I will get to them all. This gives you an idea of who I am, what I do, and some of the organizations I've worked with. I wrote 2 of the most popular books on option trading, worked with every major options broker in the US and abroad, as well as pretty much all the options exchanges in the world as well, and I get to be on TV a lot, which is kind of fun. I got my start trading down on the trading floor of the Chicago Board Options Exchange. I traded there for years. These pictures literally span 30 years of me being involved with the trading floor. I traded some huge stocks, options like the Ford Motor Company, AT&T, Carnival Cruise Lines, and I traded some little ones nobody ever heard of too. And here's a little secret. The little stocks that no one's ever heard of is where you make the big money, when you know about opportunities that no one else does. Now I want to jump into a newer discovery that I made. Does anyone know what this formula is? Anyone? No? Good, because we are not going to talk about it again during this presentation. We don't need to, and here's why. I've been doing this a long time, so I have a pretty extensive background in trading, but the fact is I am no mathematical genius. So would it be okay if I share a story with you about a long time ago when I was in high school? Hit that questions box for me and give me a big old yes if it is okay if I share a quick story. This is a story that I don't really share that often, but I do think you're going to like it. So give me a yes if that's all right. Laura says yes. Damon says yes. Jason says yes. Mike says yes. All right, great. So when I was a kid, I was a bit of a troublemaker, to tell you the truth. I mean, I got good grades. I didn't really have to study usually, but this is about a time when maybe I should have. In my senior year of high school, in my advanced math class, instead of paying attention to the lecture, I and a few other kids in the class, we would play poker. And that's all we did, all hour long, the whole class. And you know what? I made a lot of money in math class. But the problem is with math is that it builds. And if you miss something in the lecture this week, you're lost the next week and you're hopeless the week after that. So needless to say, I didn't learn a lot of advanced algebra concepts that year. I crammed, I passed, but I didn't learn that much. Now fast forward to my freshman year of college, and I had to take an algebra refresher to get let into the regular class. Oh, so embarrassing. I always prided myself in being smart, and algebra is not really that tough, but I had to take a refresher. Now, one thing you might not know about me is that I was actually the first Passarelli to graduate college, and I almost wasn't. Here's where the story gets a little interesting and weird. Now, I'm a competitive kind of guy, mind you. So my sophomore year of college, my cousin Michael, who was 1 year younger than me, was in my calculus class. Calculus. I was very intimidated by calculus. I was afraid I'd struggle, but more importantly, I knew that if I failed the class and had to retake it, my cousin Michael would be a credit ahead of me. And maybe, just maybe, he would end up graduating before me. And there was absolutely no chance that I was going to let that happen. So I put on my A game. I was ready to work as hard as I could to win. And I'm going to guess that there are some of you here who can relate to that, right? You'll do what you need to win, right? Put in the effort to succeed, right? Well, me too. But there was another factor that came into play that was sort of a saving grace. I had a great teacher, one that I could relate to, and he made it easy for me to learn, and I did. And I ended up actually acing calculus and had the honor of being the first in my extended family to graduate college. Thank you very much. Now, like I said, I'm no mathematical genius by nature, but I spent a lot of time in option trading, 30 years plus. And I do whatever it takes to create great trading systems for myself and for you. So I studied the math of things like the relative strength index to see how they tick. And I realized there's some hidden keys within these equations that can predict when momentum will continue. So now I'm going to share that hack with you. The concept of RSI is it's up strength versus down strength. And what he uses, too much up strength can lead to overbought, which can lead to a reversal, and vice versa. So there's a little hack. Certain patterns can prevent momentum from burning out and can lead to continuation. Discovering this specific pattern wasn't a fast process and it wasn't easy. It took years until I evolved the system and my results proved that I had a winning strategy. And we continue to improve upon it. I put in the investment for myself and for you because now it's finally time to share it with you. I call the first iteration of this the red knockout. It's a momentum trading strategy that can lead to outsized profits. It's a simple 4-part chart pattern that's very, very easy to identify. The profit targets are easily set, and you can use it with options, stocks, ETFs, indexes, futures, or even Forex. So let me start by listing the steps in the red knockout system, and then we'll zoom in and go through some examples. So this stuff is important here. Write this down. Step 1 is the setup candles. That's 3 or more green candles that make up what we call the green run. Next, if the pattern keeps materializing, we'll see a red knockout or the RKO candle. That's a red candle with a smaller body than each of the previous 3 green candles. Then we have the trigger candle, which is a green candle that takes out the red candle's high on higher volume. And then finally, we have the confirmation candle that if that materializes, we'll see a candle that opens above the high of the RKO candle, and that's the one that signals trade entry. So let's break this strategy down step by step and go through how it works. All right, step 1, you remember what that is? Hopefully you're taking notes. That is the setup candles, also known as the green run. That is 3 or more consecutive green upday candles. So they're green candles and upday candles. If this pattern keeps materializing, next we'll see the red knockout or the RKO, which is a red candle immediately following the 3 green run candles, but it has a smaller body than each of the 3 green run candles. Step 3, if this pattern keeps playing out, is what we call the trigger candle. That is the candle that takes out the high of the RKO, which basically means that at some point it trades above the high of the RKO candle, which you can see this one did. And then finally, if this pattern comes to fruition, we see the confirmation candle, which is a candle that just simply opens above the high of the red candle. So now let's go through some examples to see how this works in real life. This is Bloom Energy, BE. If we have a red knockout setup, what's the first thing we look for? What is it? Setup candles, right? Setup candles, 3 or more green upday candles in a row. Do you see this on this chart anywhere? It is right there where that arrow showed up, right there. This is the first of 3 green setups. We've got this one, and then finally we've got this one. Each is higher. It has a higher close. Well, first of all, they're green, which means they closed at a higher price than they opened. And they're up day, which means they closed at a higher price than yesterday's close. Those are two different things, actually. So this establishes that the trade is maybe setting up. All right. Are you getting this? Yes? All right, good. Now, what's step 2? You remember what that is? That is the RKO candle right here. If a red knockout candle shows up on the chart, it's easy to identify, and it means the setup might be materializing. Small bodied candle, smaller than each of the 3 previous green candles. It could open higher or lower, but the key is that it's down from the open, and thus it is red. While a green candle means it is trading higher than where it opened, a red candle means it's trading lower than where it opened. So it could open higher like this one did, or it could open lower, but it's got to be a down on the day. So step 3 is the trigger candle, which is right here, this yellow arrow, and that triggers that the trade is indeed setting up and you're getting ready to time your entry. We call this the trigger candle, and it's sort of like when a marksman is all set to fire on the target and gets his finger on the trigger ready to take the shot. And then finally is step 4, the confirmation candle. Opens higher than the close of the RKO, and that means the trade setup is confirmed. Got a green arrow. Green means go, fire away. So now let's slow it down a bit. Let's look at the roles of each of the 4 components of this setup so you see why it works. First, there are the setup candles that make the green run. And this is what sets up a mini trend, right? So like 3 green upday candles in a row, like, does that mean anything in and of itself? No, not yet. It means that we've got some momentum going higher, and that's the start of it. We want to see that. Without seeing, I mean, if you don't see 3 green upday candles in a row, I mean, you really don't have much momentum. So this indicates that, yeah, this might be setting up nicely. Now, what the RKO candle is, the red knockout candle, is in every upward momentum, if there isn't somewhat of a pullback, it just burns itself out and it fizzles out and you can't trade it. So we want to see that. That is going to keep our RSI from going into overbought territory. Now, we don't want to see a huge pullback. We want to see just a breather. This gives people who didn't get in here on candle 1 or 2 or 3 the opportunity to get in on further momentum. And then the trigger candle, this says, okay, momentum is continuing. This RKO was just a mini little pullback. It's actually continuing forward. So game on, but we want to be sure. And so we wait to see the confirmation candle, and then it's just 1, 2, 3, go. So now let's run through several examples to see how this might play out in real life. So this is Thomson Reuters. First of all, is there an RKO setup here on this chart anywhere? Do you see one? There's one candle, green, update, another one, and then another one. That's 3. Okay, that meets our criteria. And then there is the RKO candle, and then there is the setup candle, and there's the confirmation candle, and that is where we would get into this. Now, if we follow our profit target rules, which I want to go over in a second, we would take it off here where this green thing just came. Okay. And this actually probably would have been like this day here. All right. Okay. So how about here in Humana? Is there an RKO setup here anywhere? Look closely, look closely. Good job. This is the first setup candle. It's actually the first of 6 setup candles that ends here. Again, we have to have 3 or more setup candles. Next comes our red knockout. Why is it called the red knockout? In any trend, there's a pullback. And in this case, this is a mini pullback, just enough to let traders who missed the first part of this, give them the opportunity to get in and get some follow through. So the red candle basically just gets knocked out of the pattern. And we look for continuation. That's just what we get. Here is the trigger candle. And we wait one more day to the confirmation. And then we get in on the open that day. We always prefer to time the entry close to the open because more often than not, we're going to get upward follow through on that day. So it provides us with just a little extra edge if we get in early. Now here is where we would calculate our exit. And again, we'll talk more about exactly how to calculate the exit in just a bit. So let's check it out on the sleek dark screen version. Cool, huh? Right? This is APEI stock. If we look here, let's see, here and here, we see a 3-candle green run again, followed by the classic RKO. Why is it classic? You know, smaller range than each of the 3 other ones, just mini pullback. It's engulfed by the previous green candle in this case. Then the trigger candle, which means the pattern is continuing. And then we always wait one more day for confirmation. 1, 2, 3, go. Now, what I like about this one is that this is only an $11 stock. Folks who don't trade options, you just buy the shares. Though the options actually are liquid enough too, if you want to use the leverage of options, you know, in APEI, but you don't have to be an option trader for this. And the RKO indicator works in all time frames. It's very versatile for day traders, swing traders, short-term traders, even long-term investors can use it. Now, when I worked on improving what criteria to use for the setup candles, the red knockout candles, trigger candles, and confirmation candles, I spent a lot of time on it. And it was a really great and humbling experience. It reminded me of my old boss, Steve Fawcett. Now, you see 2 people here. The one, of course, here is Sir Richard Branson, and the other one is Steve Fawcett, who I worked for many years. For those of you who don't know who Steve Fawcett, the late Steve Fawcett was, he was not only a famous trader, but also a famous adventurer. He held many world records. He attempted to set one flying around the world in a hot air balloon with Sir Richard Branson. Now, I remember one day, Steve took all his traders out to dinner. And there were about 45 of us or so, as I recall. And after dinner, he made a toast, and he actually asked us a question. He said, "Why do you trade?" Because honestly, like, it's not really about the money or whatever. The real reason, like, why do you trade? Why do you want the money? Why do you choose trading to do it, right? Now, as floor traders, standing there all day long in the pit, your feet hurt, your back hurt, there are people yelling in your ear, getting their spit on you when they yell. Why do you go through all that? Why do you trade? What's your real reason? Is it to have more freedom to take time off and play golf? To secure your retirement, put your kids through college? And that stuck with me. So I want to ask you, hit that questions box for me. What is your reason for wanting to use RKO? What is your reason? Please take a minute and share right now. More time. Okay, excellent. Damon says financial freedom. Great. That is a great reason. Jason says, put myself through college. Yeah, cool, man. That is awesome. And I think it's really important to visualize this. It helps you to reach your goal when you can see why you're doing it. Laura says planning for retirement. Edward says more income. Okay, good. You guys are envisioning, you're You're using your inner vision. I love that. So Steve was a great mentor. Without having him in my life coaching me, I could not have been the trader I am today. But there was one thing Steve was known for saying: I'm still learning. Now, when I met Steve, he was a gazillionaire, super successful trader, but he was always tweaking his process, always learning, always moving forward, always making his trading better for himself and his traders. And I'm really thankful for that because I was one of his traders. He kept improving. So I also started the process of improving the exit point. And here's how that works. Setting these price targets is really easy. Here's how it's calculated. So the idea is we're looking for a repeat of the green run. If from the start of the green run to the end of it, it's a $10 move, after the RKO candle, which is sort of like the fulcrum, we want to see another $10 play out. So what we do is we take the low of the first green setup candle and subtract that from the high of the last green setup candle. But we don't want to be too greedy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to make as much as possible. But I also want to have as many profitable trades as possible. So I'm going to get out a little bit early. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sum, this range of the green run, and I'm going to multiply it times a haircut, which is basically a percent. Maybe it's 80% of the full green run. Maybe it's 90%. Maybe it's just 70%. And that's going to enable me to set my target price a little earlier, to be a little bit more conservative. So then I'm going to add that sum, that haircutted sum, to the high of the RKO candle, and that is my exit target. It's very simple risk management. Immediately after buying the stock or option, after buying the stock, we set a profit-taking order, good till cancel, and also a possible stop loss order, good till cancel also. And we do those OCO, one cancels the other. And if you're not familiar with some of these terms or exactly how to do some of these things, later I'll share how you can learn how to easily do all this and make your exits super simple. Because you know what? Here's the idea. This is a system. Work the system works. Whoops. Now, I want you to leave here today with all the tools you need to be massively successful with this, and I bet you do too, right? Would you like me to share with you what we discovered makes RKO trades even better? Yes? If you want to show me, hit that questions box and let me know. Would you like me to share sort of some secrets that are not actually in this presentation that we discovered actually kind of work in congruency with the RKO system? That makes it even more powerful, makes it even more likely to win, makes you have more winners, bigger winners. Yes, 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 yes. Hit that questions box. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Mike. Jason says, yes. Damon says, of course. Of course, of course. Joe says yes. Excellent. Okay. So what we want to have is, if we see the green knockout with going through one of the three major moving averages. Now, the three major moving averages is the 200-day, the 50-day, or the 21-day. If we see the red knockout pattern, green run, confirmation, blah, 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 going up through one of those three major moving averages, that's going to be a more powerful system. If we see this happening following a down move, it's a more powerful signal. If that down move happens to be RSI in oversold territory and then crossing back above the 20 line, that's a very powerful system. So I hope you're writing this down. This is sort of my little secret gift to you. Now, in summary, there are a few important takeaways. Momentum trades can yield outsized profits. This is a time-tested system. So we have the setup candles, red knockout candle, trigger candle, confirmation candle. We even have a way to set our profit target. But you know what? There is a problem with this. There are 6,366 stocks to trade. If it takes you, say, just 45 seconds to pull up a chart, look at it, and see whether there's an RKO pattern on there or not, 45 seconds times 6,366 means it would take you about 80 hours a day to go through all the opportunities out there. And that's only if you trade just one time frame. If you trade multiple time frames, I mean, it's already impossible. It'd be even more impossible. Now, you don't like missing trading opportunities, do you? Well, there's got to be a better way, right? And I bet you know that. You would not be here right now if there wasn't a better way. So, are you ready for it? The RKO system is here. Now, over the past 3 years, we've created both a scanner that would easily identify RKO trades, as well as an indicator that displays the pattern right on the chart along with the price target. We wanted to make it so simple, it's impossible to mess up. So you now have a new opportunity to easily scan for top momentum trades that you wouldn't be able to find without this screener. With over 6,000 stocks out there, it's almost impossible to just happen to come across one of these great setups. But with this easy to use 3-step scanner, it makes it possible because I've made the investment for you. Because you know what? I know what it's like to struggle as a trader in the market. I do. I've had the pleasure of training thousands of traders, and I wanted to develop a scanner that made it very easy to find profitable trades with great potential. And even for myself, before creating the RKO system, I'd come across one of these setups, just happen to come across one out of the 6,000 stocks that I could be looking at. I'd come across them once every 6 months. I would miss so many opportunities. But finally, I've invested both a lot of time and a lot of money to develop this simple, easy to use scanner so that you can harness it in just 3 easy steps. Now, imagine what your trading account would look like if you could sit in front of your charting software and have a powerful trading tool that identified both the trade entry and exit points in just seconds. Imagine if you could block out all the noise in the market and only focus on the trades that have been identified for you. What would that mean to your trading business? Well, that is exactly what the RKO scanner does for you. Now, when I put this together a while back, I just grabbed some results from the scanner, and I want to share some of these examples for you so that you can see this and be confident that you can start getting the results you deserve. Here on February 15th in LMND, Lemonade, a stock trader could have bought the stock at $15.43 and 12 days later sold it up to $21.09. That's a 36.7% profit in 12 days. On March 25th, in VFF, a stock trader could have bought the stock at $1.04 and sold it up to $1.54, locking in a 48.1% profit in just 8 days. In the options, in XLE, a trader could have bought the April 91 calls at $1.82 and sold them 12 days later at $3.45, locking in an 89.6% profit. Just to make that more tangible, if a trader bought, say, 5 of those calls, he or she could have made $815 in profit on just that one trade. And that's just hitting the haircut profit target that was set. If the trader, with this opportunity, if the trader held on to this longer and took maybe like half the profits at the haircut profit target and left the rest on till April 2nd, he or she could have been over 164.8% profit, or up $1,500 on that same 5 lot. Even if you make, say, like 3 of these trades a week and your results are half as good, how much impact can this have on you and your family's financial future? Really. Start getting the results that you deserve. This is Nick. Our head coach, John, who's a brilliant guy, ex-Goldman guy, John and I shared with Nick what we were thinking. Nick was actually one of the first humans to see the RKO in action, and he actually helped us a lot with his feedback. He said, using scanners, in particular the RKO Daily, helps me find trades when I'm busy or might not be fully locked in the market. I run the scanner, do the checks, and decide to take the trade or move on. It only takes a few minutes and helps me find the best trades consistently. So I want to invite you to join us and start using the RKO system right away. So first today, you are going to get the Red Knockout Scanner. So every day, you'll be able to have a list of all the RKO trades available in the market. This simple scanner searches the universe of over 6,000 stocks for the setup and makes it possible to find the trades that you would never have access to without this. It's found trades. They just show up. For you to profit with the RKO system, I need you to know how it works. So I created a video training course that shows you step by step exactly how to install this on your platform, how and why the RKO system works, how to set up the trades, even the filters and cross scans to optimize the strategies, and of course the targets and trade management as well. So what that means is first you're going to get the Red Knockout system, the scanner, have these trades just pop up. And then you're also going to get the RKO Accelerator video course so that you can get up and running and start using this right now. Now I can put these tools in your hands. I can tell you how to use them, but I know for me, I learn faster when someone shows me exactly how to do it. So the best thing I can do for you is give you hands-on training. Every Friday for the next year, one full year, you're going to attend our online live group coaching class and watch John Kamisic set up RKO trades and other trades right there while you watch. Now, John is formerly with Goldman Sachs, First Options of Chicago, Lind Waldock. He traded for a hedge fund. He is the expert on the Red Knockout. In fact, he helped me develop it. He's just the kind of person you want to listen to. But I wanted to make sure that you hit the ground running and you get this hands-on training to start getting those immediate results. How would it feel to have top picks selected by John every day? Well, this is what Dennis Meisel from East Peoria, Illinois said. He said, thanks, great class. Exactly what I was looking for. The class gave me a lot of insight into options and the Greeks. I'm a fairly new trader, but I've been putting in the work to move my skills forward. So what that means is first you're going to get the Red Knockout System Scanner, the Accelerator video courses, and you're going to get literally hands-on training every Friday. That's a $5,247 valued package. Do you mind if I over-deliver? What I really want is for you to make as much money as possible trading the RKO. And I imagine you do too. So every day, we're going to rank the day's RKO trades and list them out and give you our top RKO picks so that you can see what we think are the best of the best. This is the RKO watch list, and it's a $1,297 value. Plus, John will also add a bonus trade every day from his daily group coaching, Monday through Thursday class. So you can diversify your trading, get all the top trades of the day by simply clicking one link to access your curated watch list. So what this means is you're going to get the Red Knockout System Scanner, the Accelerator videos, the weekly group coaching every Friday, hands-on training, and then we're going to show you what we think the best trades of the day are, RKO or otherwise. And finally, this completes everything you need to know to make RKO simple to trade. With the RKO indicator, we put the arrows right on your chart, show you the trigger candle, the confirmation candle, and even the exit price target. So all the information is laid out for you. This could not be easier. So what that means, you're going to get the Red Knockout System, the Accelerator videos, the weekly group coaching, the RKO watch list, and we're going to put the indicators right there on your charts. RKO works on the following platforms: on Metastock, Thinkorswim, NinjaTrader, TradeStation, TradingView, almost anything. Now, You may have noticed these red knockout trades are all for when the stock's rising. And for that reason, they tend to work out better in bullish markets. But the market doesn't always go up, does it? And not all stocks always go up. In fact, some can have some pretty big bearish moves. And so I have created the green knockout to double your chances of success. So today, you'll get both the red knockout and the green knockout, so that you will have the tools that you need to trade in any market condition, up or down. So what that means is you're going to get the red knockout system, you're going to get the RKO Accelerator video course, the weekly group coaching, the RKO watch list, the RKO indicator, and the green knockout, and all of this with the green knockout, including green knockout accelerator videos, etc., etc. Buy now. You can see why the RKO trading system is a steal even at $10,041. If all this did for you was to have a way to identify trades that had profits, like we showed, of 89% or 43% over a week or whatever, the question you need to ask yourself is, would it be worth it? And that answer is yes. But you're not going to pay $10,041 today, because you've made the investment of being here live on this training, and for being one of my action takers. You're the elite. You're better than millions of traders out there, really. And I want you to have the results that you deserve. So get started today for a one-time small, easy investment of only $997 by going to markettaker.com/RGKO. I think that's the link, right, Jeff? Does that go to, check it out for me?
That is correct. That is correct. And I'm typing it in here, so you can just click on it as well. But that is the correct one. Red Green Knockout, RGKO.
Yep. So that's Metastock. Yeah, metastock.com/RGKO. So go there right now. And, we're only taking 25 new members today because we don't want this to be too crowded of a trade. So we're taking 25 new members today, and I would love for you to be one of them. Just to recap one more time, when you open your browser and go to metastock.com/RGKO and sign up today, you're going to get access to the red knockout scanner that's going to identify trades with the entry and exit points. On top of that, when you're one of the first 25, you're going to get all these bonuses. You're going to get instant access to the RKO Accelerator video course, as well as the GKO Accelerator video course, to get you up and running with both of those right away. You're also going to get access to the weekly group coaching, where we will go live into the markets together, and you can see exactly how me and my team use the scanner to generate profits in the market. You will also get access to the RKO watch list with our top picks of the best trades that John and I are looking to trade with the scanner. This way, you have the best opportunities to generate profits from the scanner by following the exact trades that I'm looking to place. Further, when you open up your browser and go to metastock.com/RGKO and lock in your red green knockout traders package, you will also get access to the indicators themselves. This way, while we're coaching you live in the market each week, giving you access to my top watch list, so you'll have access to this powerful indicator 24/7 across multiple markets to take full advantage of this great and easy to use indicator. Also, as we run more tests and tweaks, as the RKO continues to evolve and we get it performing even better, you will get automatic updates for a full year to both the scanner and the indicator. Lastly, when you join us right now, you're going to get the green knockout. You'll have the confidence of knowing that you can trade any market up or down, but you have to take action today and be one of the first 25 members today. Go to metastock.com/RGKO or call. There's folks that you can talk to at Metastock right now, 800 800-882-3040. 800-882-3040. One more time, 800-882-3040. Now, if you have a question about the red-green knockout, I want you to put it in the questions box right now. I can answer it live, or you can call 800-882-3040 and get your questions answered there. In the meantime, I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions. Question that I get all the time is, well, what if I can't install it properly? We send literally step-by-step instructions on exactly how to install it. It's so easy, anybody can do it. Is it time consuming? No, that is the whole point. You wouldn't have time to find all these trades, even if this is your full-time job and you're washing down your Adderall with Red Bull. There's not enough hours in a day literally to find these trades on your own. And I know you're busy too. I know you have a busy schedule. I designed RKO so you can literally trade this system in like 60 seconds per trade. Now, what if I can't figure it out? Well, you get video tutorials, plus you get hands-on training live every Friday morning from an ex-Goldman guy to boot. What time is that weekly group coaching? It's live every Friday from 9 to 10 Central. That's 10 to 11 Eastern. The class is recorded in case that time is not convenient. You can just watch the recording. Now, I get this question a lot too. Sometimes people say, Dan, this is exactly what I was looking for. Like, I have a small account and I want to grow it. And this can be a great way to grow it. But the problem is I have a hard time coming up with the $9,907 or $997. Is there a way I can finance this? And that answer is yes. We have a deal with PayPal to offer you both PayPal as a payment option and PayPal credit so that you can lock in the red knockout today when you check out, just using PayPal, and just choose PayPal credit. And you get there the same way. Just go to metastock.com/RGKO or call this number right here, 800-882-3040. Now I'm going to, and you can also go to metastock.com/sales chat. Now I'm going to answer some other questions. John says, once you get the confirmation candle, why don't you wait for a pullback and then get in once you think the market is bottoming that day before entering the trade? And if there's no pullback, then just get in the market. Then just get in if the market's really strong. If the confirmation candle trades below the previous candle, would it indicate the pattern? Okay, there's a few questions here. I want to answer one at a time. So yeah, it's very important to not hesitate and wait for the market to bottom. This is a momentum trade. This is not value investing. This is buy high and sell higher. So we're not going to be afraid to buy high, the high of the move. We're not going to be afraid of that because this is a momentum trade. If you've never traded momentum trades, it sounds weird. Like, what do you mean buy high? That's not how I was told to do it. But with momentum trades, that is exactly how we do it. You will miss 90% of your trades if during a momentum run, you hesitate and wait for it to go down. It's going up, and we've got confirmation on that. If the confirmation candle trades below the previous candle, would it invalidate this pattern? No. Remember, the confirmation candle, all it means is that it opens above the high of the RKO. And it could open above it, but below yesterday's, below the trigger candle. It could open above it, and more often than not, it goes up, but sometimes it'll go down, and you'll stay in that trade and ride it out unless it hits your stop, which is going to be significantly lower. And I show you how to do all of that in the accelerator videos. So, yeah. Barry says, does the time frame make a difference? No. This works in any and all time frames. Does not make one bit of a difference at all. Damon says, I'm in. Excellent. Well, welcome. Awesome. You're going to love it. Welcome to the Market Taker family. And this works great on your Metastock platform. Excellent. Laura says, I'm going to call now. Great. Okay. Yeah, call. Really super sharp group answering the phones there. 800-882-3040. They have got all the answers and they can take all the time that you need.
We do have a question from that I thought I'd interject with. Does this work primarily on U.S. stock markets? Or have you had experience with it in different markets that it might be overseas? We do get a lot of international customers, and that question comes up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If there is any chart that you can access on Metastock, guess what? RKO works with it. If you can get international charts, if the pattern materializes on the international stock, yes, you can trade it. So, yep, any market, any time frame. Yep.
That catches us up with the questions on YouTube right now.
All right, excellent. Well, then, hey, thank you for attending and welcome all the new RGKO traders. You'll be having access to our chat room. It's kind of a little secret bonus that I didn't tell you about. And so pop in the chat room, say hi, tag me if you have any questions, just at Dan Pass in our chat room. And welcome, and hey, let's make this work.
Right on. I'd like to take a minute and just show how this looks in Metastock, because I'm a little bit biased, but I love the way it looks in Metastock. Before I do that, let me go ahead and pop on my camera. I want to say thanks for spending some time with us, Dan. I'm just going to show a couple an example of Costco, kind of what it looked like, how it would have been shown on the chart, and how to run a scan. So Dan, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and jump over here. I'm going to make myself the presenter. And I just kind of love, I think this is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and kind of pull this up here. I've got, as promised, a chart of Costco up. I wanted to kind of show you a couple of the recent symbols or signals that we had on this particular chart. Right here, you can see where we had some entries that came in, a trigger that happened, and then an actual entry. So I kind of want to walk you through how this trade would have shown up. Here we had another one right here. You can kind of see it forming on the chart, would have popped up. And we do actually, when we kind of display this, we do show a profit target as well. I'm going to kind of narrow in on this trade just so you can see it and so you can see exactly what I'm pointing at. And this isn't going to take very long, but I kind of just want to show you how cool this works out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of just narrow this in. I'm going to actually, I kind of went a little bit too big, so I'm going to go a little bit smaller just so you can see it. Here, right here, I just wanted to point out, you see a little bit of a circle under the chart. Here you see a little bit of a circle on the chart. Here you get a little bit of a red chart followed by a diamond. And I want to explain to you exactly what those mean, what those annotations are kind of telling you. And what I'm going to do to actually do that is I'm going to open up the commentary. So I'm going to go to the View Commentary window here. And what I'm going to do is just click right here. And this is the commentary. When I apply this to the chart, it's going to actually outline this on the chart. I'll just go through it real quickly. Right here, you've got the last three candles are green. This could develop into a red knockout pattern. The next stage of the pattern, here's what you're looking for a trigger. Okay. On day number 4, we're still going up. So this is the last 4 green candles are part of a green run. This could develop into a red knockout pattern. We're waiting for a red bar, which happens on the next day. Here's the red bar. The current candle is a red knockout candle coming after the just ended green run. This could become a red knockout pattern if the next candle is green and it closes above 773.95, which is what happens on our trigger day. Here's where the triggers. There's a current long red knockout setup. It's currently active. This setup is triggered when the current candle opened above the high of the RGKO candle. If you're looking to take advantage of this, here's some of the things that you could do with it. You could look at buying a delta call 15 days to expiration. You should set a profit target at 819. The next day we actually go in, you get an entry. It's going to tell you exactly, okay, now you're in a complete entry. Okay. As soon as that happens, you're going to get the target. It's going to hit on the chart And that's going to basically kind of get all the way up to that profit target with this particular trade. So steps you through the patterns, tells you what you should be looking for and what you should want, and all of that kind of good stuff. The other thing that's really cool is this is very much a momentum resumption pattern. And it's very selective. And I personally like things that are more selective. I'd rather not trade it, sit on my hands, and just trade the really good opportunities that sit there. So if I want to run an exploration for it, I've actually already done so. And what I'm going to do, I think I've got that open. I'll just pull this over because it does take a few minutes. I ran this against the entire T of the optional stocks. And so there's actually 4 different scans in there. The ones I ran was the red knockout triggers and the red knockout entries. There's also the green knockout triggers and the green knockout entries. So if I'm kind of looking for stocks that are triggering, but they haven't signaled an entry yet, I can run the trigger scan. It's going to kind of give me a list. Out of like 5,482, it returned about 180 that might have a pattern tomorrow. And so here we can see on this screen exactly what was coming through. You can sort them by the entry, the target. You can see what the RSI values are in the close. I actually also ran that same list, all 5,482 stocks against the DP knockout entry to see if there's any entries that actually formed today, and nothing came back. So if you're looking to kind of set up for tomorrow and you want to see what entries come in, you can run the entry scan. If you want to find stocks that have actually triggered, like you're running a scan in the morning, for example, you can run the trigger scan. Either way, it's going to help you kind of eliminate those stocks that don't have this opportunity and show you the ones that do. Very, very cool pattern. I love the fact that it's kind of selective. It kind of helps you kind of narrow down that field. And I love the way that it's been implemented in Metastock. Taking advantage of like the expert advisor, the commentary, all that kind of stuff. With Metastock in the scanner, you can use it to scan just about any market on earth. There's over 200 exchanges included. You can use it on any market. You can get a chart for, as Dan said earlier. So $9.97 is the special webinar price. It's going to include all those freebies, all those bonuses that Dan threw in there. You can actually give us a call to get it at 800-882-3040. You can go to metastock.com/RGKO. You can also go to metastock.com/saleschat. So thanks for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned something. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for coming, guys.
It's a great book with lots of content from traders just like yourself. Hi, Kelly Clement here from Metastock. Before you go, I have 2 quick things for you. 1, thanks for joining us today. We love having you here at our webinars and viewing our videos. So what I'd like to invite you to do before you go is like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us a great deal and it helps us bring you more awesome content like today's video. The second thing is we have a great ebook on trading that you can get for free. If you go to metastock.com/YouTubebook, you can get a free copy of The Secrets of Successful Traders. It's a great book with lots of content from traders just like yourself who can teach you some of the secrets that they have learned. Thanks for taking a second with me and learning about those 2 things. Thanks for joining us and keep on trading.